Hello everyone, let's start to play Send Me Challenge and let's play if you want. And we will start 3+2, I think is okay time. Well, let's play a5 and bring this, okay? g6 and let's bring the bishop to not let his bishop do everyone that he wants. Also, that's not open, okay? And d5, d4 can be moves. Or even bishop f5. But I repeat good first. Just he can't take, and I will use the spin to take the pawn on a3, probably bring the rook. Because he isn't castled yet, he is up a pawn, but because this a file is open, just I will try to push this pawn and make advantage from that. Okay, he disconnected. Just I don't know why. Okay, we won our first game like this. Okay, let's play another one. e4, okay. Let's play Vienna Gambit. I would like to play f4. And let's pressure a5. e5 probably take in the future. Not still sure about that, but anyway. When you are playing against Vienna Gambit, you don't need to just f6 or I don't know, because that's a little bit overextended position, you know? What if knight a5? I think b5 could work even, why not? What if before b5, if the queen is okay there? I will try b5 and then if the knights move b6, if he takes the pawn he will lose the queen, so he wouldn't do that. But let's see, knight a5 also can happen. I think if not, just a5. So if he goes there, not sure. Okay, a5 and b6 will save position. Okay, he played that, because if not, a7 will be hang. And now we sacrifice that pawn, so not a problem. I will try to just push these pawns forward, and he can take 2 times, or he can... I think he can take with a bishop, because if it's not, the knight will be hang. I'm happy to see this, but after these trades, not sure. Probably he's trying to go f5, attack on my pawn on a4, and also the rook. So anytime rook can jump on b1, and the main thing that I'm trying to do, open his queen side. Just bishop d2, because if his knight goes back, for example b7, just c6 can be a move. And somehow I'm gonna make a trouble for him. Okay, still everything defended. If I take, he will take the knight, I can take it back. Okay, he has to take this pawn on b6 first. Because if his knight hang, also queen a8 or some move like this should lose for him. So let's wait. Probably I can take even a7 pawn, try to make a new queen. That should be crazy idea, but also working, why not? So because he saw I'm trying to push my pawns forward and try to take, he needs to just, I think, defend only. Now the knight is hang. We can't just don't move it. We will lose that, but anyway, let's check from c2 and take a4, because the knights are under attack. Probably if I take, this knight will be protected, but What can I say about the knight on d5? Because there are huge attack on there, you know? That's not easy to defend all that. Okay, can I sacrifice one or not? Knight b4. What if I take the pawn, lose the knight, and that's won't be fork. Now, okay, e4 will be hang. I will take with the knight. I don't want to trade the queens yet. Just because my queen is doing great job there. Just if the knight takes, also f4 will be hang. So probably I can even take with the rook. And if he tries to take the knight, just he will lose the queen. That should be right idea. Just he can't take, you know? Okay, he is forcing to trade that. He's up a figure which I sacrificed the knight. But my position is so good, his king side is closed. And his piece is doing nothing. Probably knight f6 can be really good move for him. Because that's preventing from f7 check and taking his bishop. Okay, and knight a6, okay. I'm attacking on his bishop, which is protecting the knight on f6. So I will try to take that figures, and the knight will be undefended. I would like to see his king on that dark square. Also, that should be another threat to check and take the rook. But no, it's not. Okay, I can take the knight, but also the bishop will be under attack. I believe that's just a trade. Okay, let's check. What should we do? Not that. Just bishop a3 and I will lose the rook, so let's think about that. I want to bring my rook on that 7th rank, and that should be at least draw. So I'm trying to do that, you know? Probably knight c7 and a6 check can also work. If I take... Okay, I can't, but what if a2 and check? He will lose that. He needs 3 or 4 moves to do that plan. But still I am preparing for knight c7 check. Not sure I can win this or not, that's so unclear position. But I will try literally everything, okay? His knight is doing nothing. So I'm happy to see that. Probably he's trying to bring his bishop on a3 and check. Oh no, that should be checkmate. Let's prepare for it, just rook back, what should we do else? Rook f3 can be moved. If I somehow take the pawn, the rook will be hang. Okay, there isn't any threat, just rook check. We will trade until we lose the pawn. Well, he's still defending. But what if this? Oh, okay, I have a plan. Let's sacrifice the rook. You know why? Because for this really good plan actually, his time is getting lower. But let's don't forget that there is 2 seconds plus for every move. So I won't say that completely winning or losing for my side or even for his side. The knight h4, okay. This knight is literally isn't doing anything on this whole game. They just were in a5 and doing nothing, and now on h4 like this doing nothing. Okay, I have passed pawn, so I need to use that, okay? Because I'm down a bishop, I don't need to trade, but what if I try to use? Oh, okay, here is his time ran out, okay? I want this, but I think that's a little bit that drawn position. Okay, let's play Vienna Gambit. Got chess favorite opening, you know? Also not favorite, just Italian Gambit. He really much plays on his games, and just somehow he plays London. I'm not sure you saw that games, but anyway. What if d4? Okay, I don't need to play that. Just that's a typical one, a gambit when you are trying to open this f-file. And also some moves ago he could take this pawn on f4. Just because d3 and that pawn will be lost, that's why he didn't take. I will be happy if he trade the knights. Let's see if he can do that or not. Because if he takes, my pawns will be double. But a4 square would be really good for my bishop, so I could jump there. And if my pawn were on d5 after that trade, just he needs to deactivate his knight, or even before, just after kick a6, okay? And what if take? a5 is over defended. Still, I don't like to take, because his knight on d7, which isn't doing anything. That will be in a really good position after that. Bishop f5 and queen h5, but bishop f5, g6. What should I do after g6? I need to go back, which I don't like. So I'm trying bishop back because that's really has nice diagonal for defending. And okay, let's take. And his knight only has 2 moves, which isn't literally doing anything. Okay, even that can work, but I didn't think he would do that. Because anyway, I'm kicking the knight, and when you are kicking his pieces, you having really much advantage. Just b5, okay, just how I said, a7. Okay, I will say we won that knight. Okay, let's don't lose the pawn. So after this, okay, if I not take, I will lose that, okay? d3 is hang, so I would like to defend that first and then think about any moves. Queen f3, okay. That's defending the pawn and also creating attack. Knight b4 I'm expecting. The knight will be in a really good position and would attack on that pawn on d3, but he's not doing, which I'm happy to see. Queen g4. But after queen g4, that should be undefended, that pawn. Probably rook f3. Okay, not that easy position. Because his knight can jump really good squares and try to trick me. So let's be a little bit careful. Just when your piece is at the same square, at the same color square, only that time knight can jump and fork your figures. That's a really good rule that you can use it as advantage, just for seeing you're gonna be pinned or not. Let's take. We are losing exchange, but I'm happy to see his rook is gonna trade his bishop. So bishop f5, and from h7 I can try to mate. So how can he defend this h7? Okay, he's trying to not to exchange, not to take just the whole rook, okay? But he misses the g6 pawn. So h7 is hang. I would like to bring my rook, but we all know how I can't. Just king h1 and probably trade. I will try to bring another one. Okay, let's get the trade or not. If I take... okay. That should be breaking. Let's lose like that. because I didn't want to just play in that position. Okay, I'm waiting for your challenges. If you want to play, send me challenge. I will explain our game, and that should be helpful for you to improve your chess. And also don't forget to subscribe my channel. Bishop b7 because that's black squares is a little bit undefended. So I would like to defend from his, for example, knight jump or something like that, okay? Okay, he took the knight. I was preparing bring it on f5 and attack on d4 pawn. That's not happening yet, but anyway. Rook g8, h7 would be hang. I'm not sure. Just if my white square bishop's way will be open, I would try to go rook g8 and bishop h3. Okay, now I can't see how my bishop is doing great job there because knight can't jump there. That's why I said that I don't need to trade the bishop. I need to keep it, okay? And because he jumped from c3, now he has to go back. Just if not, d6 pawn wouldn't be trouble for me. Just I will take that. I will be up a pawn and probably push this pawns forward and bring white squares on active square, which I'm trying to do. Okay, a2 is hang, but if I take a5 will be open, because still his bishop is attacking on that, and I will activate his rook. Probably he will sacrifice that and try to do something, because c-file is open. But you know, not a huge problem. Just after this I will take the pawn and rook g8. Rook g8, I will hang this pawn on h7, but because that's double, even I don't need to think about that, because anyway, like how he's gonna lose this pawn, same, I'm gonna lose h6 pawn because I haven't defend for it, you know? That's the whole problem. Okay, I would like to bring my bishop back and he's helping me about that. I can't take. Not a problem. Let's bring another rook on. Here or not? Because that's a pin, I don't need to keep it on the pin. So if he takes... Oh, okay, that's all. I thought he was trying to take the knight or the bishop. d4 is hang. Let's take and rook g8, okay? My position is safe or not? I don't understand. Oh, that was under attack. And the rook too. Okay, not my best game, but anyway, just you see that you need to keep your king safe, not overextend it. His forward pawns, okay? Don't forget to follow my channel and motivate me. Just some months before this I was 2000 in the Blitz and 2200 in the Rapid. Just you know, my Blitz was down more than 300. Just I even reached 1600 or like that bad rating. But anyway, I like this game. Okay, let's bring the rook on d8. Okay, I believe f5 should be only move or not. h7 is under attack, okay. Why I started so bad these games? When you are seeing open files, just bring your rooks there, which now I'm trying to do. Let's sacrifice the knight. You will understand after he will take. Okay, take that. Okay, I sacrificed the knight on d4 just for no reason, how you are seeing. Even I didn't take a pawn. So I think his knight is trapped. Let's take that, okay? Or knight c2. Just knight c2, I will bring the rook on second rank. Like I'm trying to do that with a queen. If I take g4 check and king f8. From g7 he's trying to mate. And if bishop back from f6, he will fork that, okay? I believe can't be any problem. Just f6, he can't check. Queen is anyway defending that. So let's see what he's gonna trying to do. Let's defend from b6, that pawn, and rook to d2. Don't forget about follow my channel and play with me if you want, okay? Well, just my kingside was destroyed, that should be the problem. But anyway, don't lose our hopes too. We will win some games. Just I started not that well and I don't know even how. Okay, let's bring the bishop and castle, okay? Very simple. I would like to pressure this f5 pawn, d4 pawn. Just think why I didn't bring my knight on f5. Still, I don't need to take, just if he takes, which he won't do because his pawn on a5 will be so much hang. Can I take and play c5? I would like to bring my bishop on c5 because here it isn't doing anything. So I'm forcing him to take, if not just bishop a3, I don't know. His rook isn't guarding f2, so that's under attack. Queen a2 I'm expecting, or c2 can't work, but c2, because that c file will be open, I will try to bring the rook and kick that. Okay, after this date he's gonna lose that pawn on b2. Or not. If rook b1 I will take with a queen and should be trade. Because if I do any move and not that, just I will lose the rook, okay? Okay, he's trying rook b1 and the difference is that at the time I can't take. Because I would take the queen, not the rook. And I will trade queen with his rook, okay, at the time. That's why I'm afraid of to do that, but it seems he's trying to push my queen on that b file to do how I said. But we won't get tricked there. I'm up a pawn. And how we know bishops are really good when you are bringing that in a really good position. Just a6, it will hit so much targets. Just if every viewer follow, I will make a money from YouTube. I will be appreciate that if anyone try to do that. And he's trying probably double his rooks. So rook c8. I don't need to help him for that, you know. Okay, f7 will be hang and now bishop is hang. Well, what should I play? How I said, bishop is hang. Let's bring bishop back and kick the queen from that d7 squares, so at this time even I can bring another rook into the game. And let's see. I have a plan. Or not. Just knight f4, and if I attack the knight on f5, sorry, on f3, just I would take that. You know, there is a trap when you are taking a pawn and the knight is being not defended. You can try this all your games. Okay, and because he's pressuring the bishop, do not let him do that. Let's pin this, okay? He can't take anyway. So my bishop isn't doing anything. I need only 2 moves to bring it on active square. The knights for him are doing really great defensive job. Okay, he missed that or not. Just he can take the rook at the queen after I will take. Not sure, you know. He forces to take the rook on c1 and queen d2. Okay, nothing is hang. So knight f4 even can be moved. Try to probably a2 check and we will see. Just if king wasn't guarding that f2 pawn and I will take, there will be very much weak squares like g1 or g3. Okay, and nothing is hang. So let's go back, try to pressure this a3 pawn, and somehow if it's moved, just I will take that, okay? Bishop b7 should be moved, and I like this move because d4, that will be really great bishop. In the end games, bishops are really good than the knights, but you need to put it a really good square just for attack in a really good position like this. Okay, let's go a8 to not lose this. Just knight d7, just rook d8 and I will pin this. There is nothing he can do about that, okay? So let's wait until his respawn. Just d4, this diagonal should be open and you know, huge diagonal, but the only thing that I don't like, I will lose that pawn and this knight is still guarding. Sorry bro, I can't speak Russian. Just I will understand if you want to write Russian, no problem, I will understand that. Okay, that's just a character. Let's bring the knight back to defend this rook. You can write Russian, I will understand, but I can't speak Russian, you know? I'm threatening queen a1 check and take this pawn on f2. And if knight back, I will be much happier to deactivate this knight, because I will try to take this pawn on a5 and somehow that should be a really good position. Just the only thing I'm trying to do, bring my bishop on active square, but his time is gone. I don't know even how. He was even about 100 rated more than I. Okay, let's respond with for Sicilian defense, opening like this. Hello everyone. If anyone wants to play, send me challenge. Okay bro, no problem. Find me on chess.com and send me challenge. After I will finish this game, okay? Okay, and we are creating really good attack on here. So d4, because now g5 is protected, I will like to jump there with my knight, and f7 will be really huge threat, because my opponent played Sicilian defense, which is a little bit activity on his queen side, but I don't think really good activity on king side. I understand. Let's bring queen on h3. Okay, I'm threatening mate, but he's also have another threat from c2 to trap the rook. So I think I need to lose this knight to protect, but anyway, I think my knight is more valuable than the rook on a1. So what if knight back? Or not, let's think about that. Let's sacrifice the knight. I'm not sure, but let's do that. And this is hanging. Okay, we can take and knight c3, because this won't make trouble for me, okay? Just rook b1. h6, and also under attack I will take in the next move if it needs. Just knight c2, probably I can try to attack on it and win that, because there weren't so much squares that he can jump at the time. Hello handsome Honku. How are you? How are you, chat? Can I please play against you next game? Well, you can. Just find me on chess.com and send me challenge. I will play with you, no problem. Prosto ty jest just... you are thinking about sacrificing a piece, okay? I'm not good. Can you do this as a quick chess coach, please? Okay, no problem. Okay, thank you for that. Just, I am even trying to help analyze your games. No problem about that, don't worry. We will play and you will understand some skills that probably disturbing you to get some more rated, and don't plunder anything so much, okay? Can I take with a check, okay? Because the rook isn't under attack at this time. We are really close to be 200 subscriber, and only 3 people remain. If you subscribe, I will be happy. Probably you will be 200 subscriber. Why he did that? I don't understand, but okay. I am from Armenia. Like how my flag is saying that. Okay, we have really great position, just rook and pawn against bishop and knight. Bishop and knight are doing really great job against rook, but because rook is typical endgame. Okay, rook d6, you say it right. I will say rook is a typical endgame piece, because see how much squares this defending. Okay, we can take. And if I get that 7th rank, I think he can't defend that queenside pawns. Okay, b7 is hang, probably he's trying to defend. I don't know, I need to defend that queenside pawns or not. Or I need to attack on kingside. No, I am living Armenian since I born. Just my accent is a little bit different than Armenian when speaking English or not. What are you think about that? A5 is hang, just b3 will protect, but this pawn will gonna lose. And that's why I said that rook is typical endgame figure there. So that's not easy to defend, just bishop c7 isn't work. Okay, you see how blundered I did. Just I forgot to say bishop are really great figure in that endgame too. The knights are doing great job in that knights are doing great job middle game because that's a little bit closed, and you need to be a little bit closed to try to trick with the knight. Okay, my opponent trying to Catalan defense. Just he lost that c4 pawn, but that's not that hard to take. Knight d2 and take this pawn won't be a problem. Okay, a5 can be moved and knight d5. He's not even trying to do that, but not a problem. Queen b6, just bring queen on active square, which will hit so many targets. Just this 2 pawn is enough because I'm attacking on b2, he couldn't activate the bishop right away. I would like to go a5, but because d5 will be unprotected, he will take with so many pawns. So that's why I didn't play that. Okay, I was waiting until he will do that move because now this is really good defended from me. This d5 square, and why I am happy so happy because this bishop is blocked from being there, and some Catalan defense player even trying to break this for bringing his bishop in a really active square, but I just closed that, you know. Okay, we need only 3 follower to reach 200 rated player, and that's my goal for 3 months. I would be happy if we reach that, okay? I protected all that squares that his knight can jump and make some advantage, you know, because you need to concentrate your pieces in the center. But because how he can just that's not unclear. Let's take with the pawn on. What? Okay, only f8, okay? Okay, that was very close to just lost for me. Only move that, not losing a rook. So b7 will hang, but I'm happy to see his bishop is blocked from that pawns. Just let's defend it, okay? Knight a4, rook can jump there. So the main thing, I would try to force his bishop to go back, but bishop d6, it will be very bad at the time. That's why we don't need to do that. I would like even to trade the queens, but not that clear, because his dark square bishop are doing great job there, just for defending b8. Otherwise, I will sacrifice pawn on a4, and because b2 will be hang, queen a2, and when you have rook and queen, you need to bring that on second rank try to bulldoze his side and take so much so you can from there, okay? This pawn is hang. I think we need to just defend, because what can we do? Probably queen a6 and rook a8, but that should be a little bit hard to do because the queen is defending the rook and the rook is guarding the pawn. So let's see. Okay, bishop d6, I was expecting that so much moves. And I'm a little bit afraid from that move, because rook can jump and pin that anyway. How I said, I would like to trade the queens because this position is equal, but because he has really good protection on my weak squares, just I would try to trade everything. The bishops are doing great job in that game. And still me remain 3 followers to get 200 subscriber. I will be happy if 50 people reach seeing my stream. Just if you everyone follow, I will be one step closer to make money from YouTube. Just I will appreciate that, okay? Let's go f5 to overprotect this center, not lose anything there. Rook a8 or not, just I would try to bring it on queenside, because somehow he can break that and push the pawns forward. But g5, I think I'm up a pawn on that king side, and I can even try to make advantage there. Okay, only 2 followers remain for 200 rating. I don't know who subscribed, but appreciate that, man. I would like to see b5 is really good defended, because he can't make forward moves for that. Okay, that was 3-minute game or 3+2? Ah, okay. GG, bro. I thought that 3+2 because I played a little bit slower, you know? Just also you played very well, because your rating was very close to mine. I thought I just played random players, and that's 3+2, but no problem. You played perfect that game. I think that could be even drawn position, but it's not clear. My time runs off, I lost. We have really good pawn chain. What if we take? I would like to keep this bishop because his knight isn't guarding from f6 and h7 is unprotected, I will say. Let's jump with a queen. I think from h5, h7 will be really weakness for him. So d5, let's sacrifice that pawn because d7 pawn will be isolated if we take. And d5 pawn isn't that easy to defend, you know. And my bishop can jump on f5, and you see how good your position, how good my position is active, even I'm down a pawn. But if you can sacrifice a pawn and make your position really good, just do that. Okay. Rook d1. Still everything defended. I would like to attack on his king side, but that's not easy, you know. With this, or okay, that's very unclear position. I don't know how can I make advantage. Probably from rook a1. Okay, everything's still defended, but I haven't good attack that I will try to do. Okay, d6 is his weakness. See? If you are seeing weakness, go for it. Because that's undefended, if my knight were on that square, just the whole world will be great for me. Okay, and even now. Queen f4, just his king side is a little bit, I will say, undefended, because the rook isn't guarding that f7, the knight isn't guarding on h7. But I would like to bring my bishop back on that diagonal, just because hit some targets. Okay, there's not a threat from him. So, can I go there or not? That's a pin. I can't move the knight and somehow make some trouble. He will take with a queen and... Okay, no, that should be trade. Just if he takes with a pawn, he will lose the queen. So knight h6 can be moved because I will disturb his queen from defending the knight on a5, and because I will take, the bishop will be open, and queen c7 can be moved to attack on this 7th rank, try to take the bishop, and so on. Just when you have rook and queen, try to bring it on that 7th rank. Okay, I can check and see he lost his queen. Just... okay, he's not losing, sorry, king g7 could be moved, which I missed. So if check... okay, not a problem, let's take... let's trade, and d7 will be hang. And also d5 is a little bit weak, just because because double pawns are weak all the time. So the main thing that his rook can't defend. Okay, let's see who will be my 200 follower, because only one remain. Just one follower, and we will hit 200. Let's see, am I gonna hit that 40%? 40 people are watching that. Bishop back and f4. I would like to defend this a5, and his rook can't jump for protect this pawn on on d5. I'm still waiting. No one wants to be 200 follower or not. king a3, check. That's a really interesting. Can 1700 win position like that or not? Okay, let's check. Okay, he's gonna do that. He played very well. Let's play another one. Just if you want, I can play rapid where I am 2100 rated player. If you want, say about me. If you want to see rapid games, write in the comments. Because I'm 400 rated higher than Blitz. Knight f3 and d3, okay. I need to sack the knight or not. That's like Alien Gambit, but French variation. Let's take, and that was really good, that bishop a7, because he can't bring his king on a7 and protect this pawn, which is really defensive pawn, I will say. He misses his queen. So bad played. See what he missed. I would like to bring my bishop on c4, and because his king were in g8, I will take that. Let's play Scandinavian defense. I will teach you this opening. And he's not still attacking on my queen. Just knight c3 can be not now, because this pawn is under attack. The Scandinavian defense is opening when you are trying to overextend your queenside, and somehow kingside is a little bit closed. So you need to just not see that, like I'm not seeing kingside is here or not. Don't think about that. I will go a5, and I won't be worried about d5 because he can't take for the pin. But anyway, knight b4 from c2 I will try to check and take his rook. If rook c1, just a2 will be lost. He can't even take back because that should be pin if that figure's gonna be free. Okay, how I expected. So because the knight is pinned, I will try to pressure it. Bishop b4 first and then knight a4. Just let's see, can we do something about that or not? If I take the knight, I will lose my queen, I will pick my queen. And that should be okay position, you know? We just traded, and that's middle game where I'm up a pawn. I took that, okay. And what I need to do to defend this pawn? Okay, he took. Not problem, just we have another pawn for defense. Just if I try to go forward or something else, that should be even fork. I don't want to lose my bishop, but anyway, I can say that's even a little bit forcing, you know? Because knight h6, if he can trade, and f7 would be hang one more time. So a6 was a really great move because the bishop and rook, that rook isn't attacking on there. Okay, let's go f6. I am trying to trick him because king e1 somehow, or king d2. I think king d2 tried to bring the rook in the game. I'm waiting for that to play bishop b4 and take the rook. Let's see, can I trick or not. h5, okay. I can go h5 to kick that bishop. And if it's not even f5 to open, also f6. Well, let's do that, because his bishop was defending that. Just that was really bad for me, you know? Let's be sure d6 can't be any problem for this open check, open attack. Oh no, d6, if I take, a6 will be hang, and because that should be pin, I can't take at the time. So I would like to go knight a4, and his bishop just can't hit on that diagonal. Okay. This is hang, but also f2 is hang. Not sure what he can protect. How can he just attack on there, but anyway. We can protect and bring another rook. Oh, okay, he was trying to do that, and why I closed that bishop's way so bad. How can I get out from here? Like this. Okay, very bad played. Let's play this time Sicilian defense. That's my favorite opening as black. I have a video about Sicilian defense. You can say you can watch it if you just can't play about Sicilian defense, because more low-rated players are being tricked, because that's a really aggressive and tricky opening. Queen c7 and knight a5 can be moved, because how I said, knight is main defender to defending h2, which the most time I am trying to attack on there. I would like to defend this knight, but I don't have enough time. Like if he takes king h8, and because my kingside attack is really huge, let's see how these bishops are gonna make advantage over there, on there, and try to do something, because that's why he's afraid to take the knight, because okay, he did, but rook g8, just my bishops are doing great job. That's why he wants to trade, but I don't let him do that. My bishop is under attack. Let's defend. Rook g8, bishop a6, and from h3. That should be hanging. Well, he took the pawn, not a problem, just I'm not worried about that, you know, because he needs to worry about kingside, because my pieces are hyperactive there, I will say. Just two pieces are defending all that position, but I will kick the knight. Probably I can even take, but somehow my bishop can do great job on d6, or probably I can bring bishop back, try to mate from h7. Just that's not clear. I can even try to remove this knight from that f3 square. So let's see what should our plan. Just see if I'm thinking bishop e6. How he can defend h3 pawn. Knight h4. Knight h4 will be blunder, I believe. Because f5, that should be double. Rook's under attack. Well, what if I take the pawn? Let's bring the queen on that d7, and in this position I can bring the knight on e5, and how I said, I need to remove the knight on f6, on f3, sorry. Let's take, I think my light square bishop is more valuable than the dark bishop. We will lose the pawn there, but yes, that's the idea. Let's just prevent him from seeing that bird and try to take that pawn. So if he takes the pawn, just h3 will be hang. If he takes, he will get mate there. From queen h3, okay, we just pawn sacrificed. And in other positions, central pawns are better than side pawns. But not in this position, because g2 is hang, just how I said take will be made. Bishop f3 probably can be a move, and typical Fischer style when he was opening this h file and his queen, just his rook, and doing sacrifice and win, how he said in his book 60 Memorable Games. G3 I don't believe that should be the best move. And I'm not speaking even that he's losing the rook. Okay, I can take that, but white squares are just, I will say, very weak. Just because he can bring the bishop and defend that g2, only that's why I'm gonna take that. Other way, I will try to just mate there, okay? And because I'm up exchange rook against bishop and pawn, okay? And I will try to trade the pieces, because if you are up a piece, that's really important when you are trading the pieces. He's trying to pressure h7. So in this position we can check, because that's diagonal, so we're protected now. And that's not the only idea. This rook is in a really good position. I don't need to just disturb it, okay? I will try rook h6, and if he not trade from h1 will be made from the queen. Okay, he's gonna lose his bishop. If he take, just I will get mate or not. I believe he can't mate, but my position will be open, and also this rook will be undefended. That's why I don't like to take risks from there. Let's go h6, try to defend that. I think there is no much moves left for him, because I will try rook a1 check, and that should be probably win after some moves. If king h2, he will lose immediately. And that's why he don't need to move his bishop another way besides f1. So, because there I can't check. Okay, this is really good carding. What if rook a1? I would like to go second rank and attack on f2, because that's weakness, and bishop is also protected from the queen, so that won't be easy to just get advantage from there, you know? If I take, I would like to attack on his rook, and after sack the rook, take the rook, which is which is a move that some players even highlighted, plundering that idea. His time is getting lower, but if we sacrifice, how I thought, okay, we can sacrifice and bring queen on h1. Okay, not, we can't do that. What I'm speaking. Queen f6. Just I'm trying to bring my pieces on his king side. Okay, I can sack the rook. I was waiting for that. Or not. No, still I can't do that. Let's be sure we are not losing on time. I thought I had two attackers on the bishop. And even I had. Okay, I missed that. Just my rook is gonna take. And he will lose the bishop. Okay, he will lose the bishop and he will get mate. Okay, bishop g2. I just changed my profile picture because I'm Jesus editor. Okay, really good that you are spreading Christian. I appreciate that. I am also Christian. Clark, okay. Nice to meet you again. Okay, I lost that queenside pawn, but not a problem, because that's endgame that you should learn, otherwise you will lose. I need to corner with my king, and that should be hard for defense all that pawns, you know? That should be even drawn position. Because if I trade the rooks on from d7, I think he will take, and I wouldn't have enough time to bring on my king on a6 and also defend another one, and his time runs off. That was really tricky and hard battle there. Oof, I won that. Okay, don't quit, I am showing you Vienna Gambit there. Probably you lost so many games in that Vienna Gambit. That should be your enemy, because if you are only a little bit low rated, you are gonna lose Vienna Gambit, because that's very tricky. Just if your opponent knows that's really good, probably you're gonna lost. And see, that's even tricky for me. Just knight f3. Let's see how can we continue to play, okay? Another pawn is hang, but that's not a problem, my king. Just his dark square bishop isn't there, so try to create for very badly about my position. Supreme, how are you? Nice to meet you too. One more time, okay? How's your day going? Yes, I'm remembering you. Nice to meet you one more time, I said. I remember you so well, just I'm remembering all my followers that seeing my streams, okay? Just if anyone wants so one time, I'm remembering all the 2 months that I'm doing chess streams. Okay, Rook G1. Okay, I'm happy to listen that everything is good. Fiji, hello, how are you? I'm fine, thank you. I will go c4 and his pawn will be under attack, and also he can't defend the rook, you know, at the time, so he needs to probably bring his knight on a7, and c4 we will trade the pawns, and he would have enough time to bring this on g8. Fiji and Supreme, you didn't see that I had very much viewers, like that second stream I am gaining very much viewers there. I used to be just very small content creator, you know. Even yesterday I gained 2000 viewers, but today I will gain more than 2000. Just because for you all. Thank you about that. b7 is hang. Just a2 is hang, but if I take, maybe I can try to trick him somehow, you know? Because if he takes a2 and my rook weren't under attack, bishop a4 and he will lose the knight. Because somehow he can't defend this if his bishop isn't guard there. I hope you become popular. Okay, I will be. I wish I will be. Okay, for not lose that really good a5, let's defend the rook, not just trade and give it to him. How I said, if he takes should be mistake. That's why he didn't take that. He saw that position, but which I said to you that his knight would be undefended. I'm forcing to trade the bishop because the bishop are doing great job than the knight in the end game, because that's really much squares that open, which I can't say about the knight because the knights are really good pieces when we are speaking about closed position. Okay, let's take this to not lose other pawns there. Okay, he's forcing me to trade, which I don't like. And okay, he was close to B1900. Just that's not high rated rating, you know? Just I used to be 2000 as blitz. F4. I'm sacrificing this pawn just for seeing 3 that's e5 squared. That's so that's not hitting the pawn on d4. So now I have really good center over there. Okay, he reached to close his position, which not that means he's playing really good in this opening. He knows that very well. But that's not a very bad form, even if he if he castle kingside. That should be very much. Okay, he's doing that with g4, knight g5. I will lose that, but I will win the game. Just g4, and if he takes the knight, I will open h file, and that should be really tricky. And my favorite player, Bobby Fischer, won all that games like that. To sacrifice the piece on h5, and you know. Want to play a game after yours? Well, bro, I'm waiting for that. I will be happy to play. Let's go bishop back, because if he takes and a5 will be open. Because for that, just everything would be under attack. And at that time I couldn't bring my queen on i4, that's why you don't need to trade. I didn't trade to not bring his pieces on active square, but because he traded, you know, he was almost getting mate. Just bishop f5 saved his position. I will say saved a little bit, because he can't take, you know. I'm gonna take, or in this position I could take even with the knight, so if he takes, from h7 would be mate, and if he will not take, anyway from h7 would be mate. Just, you know, queen is sitting there and knight would defend, but that should be same thing, you know. Just h3, h6 is hang. How I said he can't take, and f4 is gonna be lost. I sacrificed the pawn on f4, and that's why I'm always saying that you need to bring your position in a really active. Then you don't need to think about so much about pawns or even some figures that I sacrificed some moves ago. Okay. So I'm threatening queen g6 and king h8, and we will see. Probably I need to bring another pieces into the game. What can we say about the bishop? Okay, the queen is pinned, but the only way that he can take advantage from that. That should be check and, you know, take my queen, but because he can't, let's bring the queen on g6, because I'm trying to bring the bishop on e5 and trade there. Or even I can bring the knight, because if I bring the knight, that's, I don't know, should be threat from h7 to take the queen. He's forcing me to go back. Okay, let's do that. But if I bring the bishop is doing really great job that defending g7, which I was trying to mate, but he was very lucky, his bishop was guarding that. If I bring, not sure, let's jump with the knight, and even we can't take with a bishop. Or even we can. No, we can't, because bishop g5 check. My queen will be under attack, and if I take somehow, because how I said my bishop would be on a5, just my queen would be undefended. I would gonna lose, but because I saw that position some moves before I was get mate, that's all. Queen g4, from g7 I'm trying to mate, and he misses the mate. Okay, he sacrificed the rook, let's see, because if I take the rook, just bishop g5. He was trying to pin the queen, but he get mated in this position. Really good trick he tried to do, but anyway, you know, he lost. I know this, he will play it. 95% people, I will say, playing this, and I started with Sicilian defense, but that's very close to be French defense, you know? That's just two central pawns. If you are playing French defense or played very much against that, you should know this. Bishop e7, some other time you can just bishop b4 and wait for a3 and take the knight, okay? But because d6 and c5 squares are defended from his pawns, he will try to bring a piece over there, for example the knight. That's why I like to keep that bishop on that e7, just for be sure that squares are defended, okay? Can I go queen b6, try to take this pawn? What's your elo? My elo is was 2000 as blitz, but because somehow that's a little bit low than the other time, because I think speaking is a little bit disturbing for that miscalculation, and my rapid was 2200, now that's 2100, and that's all. That was my best rating that I gained. I think even that's not bad, because I lost 300 rating. Just for these streams. But not a problem, I'm just not worrying about my rating. 900, okay. I will say you are playing good than playing better than 80% of people on chess.com, according on chess.com, okay? And 1900 isn't that bad rating, just that's a rating when you need to just try to calculate more hard. If you are, for example, calculating 3 or 4 moves, you need to just change and calculate, for example, 6 or 7 moves, for example, in this position. Just a6, you need to know what should my opponent try to do. Just b5 and kick the knight, okay? Because the knight can jump on that c5. Bye, Supreme. See you later. Have a good day. Okay, that's why his knight went back, but also if I were right, c5 is a weakness for me. So I would jump there. Or probably he saw that b6 will just kick the knight back, That's why he went back, probably. Then I would like to play a5, and after trade his position will be very bad at the time, but if he plays b5, just I will be trouble. So let's pressure a5 and we can take, okay? At this time we can take. He has to defend, and if it's not, just if he do a5. Okay, he added the bishop for that protection. That's a really closed position. What should I play? I have a plan. Because I go a5, he will go b5 and close the position. Kick the knight on c6. Just I'm trying to close b5. Get some trade and a5, okay? Because he can't go forward, I'm forcing him to trade where my rook will be open and all that a5. I should win this, because for that I'm almost seeing winning ideas there. Let's take with a bishop or rook. Because I'm trying to work on that queenside, I don't like to take with a rook, because somehow I can bring it, for example, c8. This is open file, okay? I would like to bring it there. Then on f6, which it can't do anything. Okay, he sacrificed, but that's really bad for me. You know why? Because if I take see the threat, I'm not seeing what he will gonna do after I will take. If you found queen a6, that should be really good from you. Just can you say how could I get out from that? That was really tricky. Okay, still defended. If he takes, that should be really good. And his bishop and knight are doing great job, even his up a pawn. But because my rook on a2, I'm not losing my hope that I will win this, okay? I will bring another rook on a8 because he has knight and bishop against the rook. And how you know, knight and bishop are better. But because I'm creating huge attack on his position, just rook a8, bishop a3. Because these files are open, my rook will do great job there, you know. Just bishop a3. He's not doing that, which is really great, because he will lose this pawn, and if he gets some trade, not sure, probably rook a1 try to take the bishop, but somehow I can't, because queen is defending, and I will do trap like him, like he did, sacrifice the rook and take another piece, which you will gonna take, okay? Let's bring all the pieces on that f2. How can he defend? Queen can't join to defense, so he needs to just trade that before this, okay? Very good. Let's trade the queens, because I'm gonna take his pawn. Or not. I think I don't need that. I was trying rook a1 and take the bishop. Because his pieces are a little bit much, that's a little bit hard for defend all that. Okay, let's sacrifice the bishop. That's made really great. That was really great sacrifice, you saw? I'm happy to see that. That was really tricky even in that time pressure, not that easy to find. That's why you have to sacrifice. That's why I sacrificed that, and that's why you have to subscribe. That should be motivation for me. Knight f3. Let's show you Vienna Gambit, which I am trying to attack on that f-file, okay? If my rook were in f1, how I did, I would like to take, but because he will take with a knight and take the bishop after that, that should be trade, but even that trade I don't like, because my bishop are doing great job. And d3, I will join another bishop into the game. What if sack the bishop? Let's do that. Just that sacrifices day. That's with a check. And if it takes, I will take the pawn on a5. That should be brilliant, not just sacrifice when computer says that's inaccuracy move, you know? Nothing is hang. Let's bring queen f3, and because that's attacking on the knight on h5, which he can't protect. Okay, only that way, but from f7 check, and from e6 or not. e6 check, just his king will run and will be defended there, you know. Okay, let's go forward. That should be even threat to make a new queen there. I'm not that much sure about that, but anyway. Rook f8, I will take h7. Okay, only move that I can play and not lose my queen. That was really tricky at the time. I will take with a king or queen, not sure, but anyway. I sacrificed materials, so I don't need to trade so much, just because I see his position is a active, and because for some figures I need to trade only that. I sacrificed that, how you are remembering. I will bring queen a2 and rook f1, kick his queen, and if I can somehow just bring second rank, or even check, like, I'm not sure I will do that, but I will try and improve my position. I saw his knight is doing great job, so I want to remove that, and that seems that trapped. I trapped his knight, right? Just every square are defended, that's why when opponent pieces are very close to your position, you need to remove that so early so you can, because that innocent pawn is just defending that two backward squares. Horse is trapped with pawn. Yes, with pawns I will say, because that's why you need to deactivate that figures when are very close in your position, like I'm saying about his position, you know. And for me that was great. Just this is hang. That was double attack, but if he not defends, I will pressure more and take that, you know. And how can I win? I'm up a pawn. I'm not that much good, but you know that's really effective when my position is so active there. And queen f7, I will attack 2 times with his bishop. You may say that defended with 2 times, but queen f7, just he needs to run his rook. Probably he saw that position, that's why he's trying to bring the rook, but I don't want to go back or another way, because I would blunder that f-file, and that should be even mate threat, you know, because that can be even some bank rank that I don't know. Hi. Okay, really good you are back. If you want to play, send me challenge. Can we take or not? Or we have to? I'm not sure. Just offer me some moves, I don't know what I need to play. That seems I missed something. Let's check. From a8 or not? I think from f8 to also if it needs go my queen back and defend my king. They are married. Why not? They need to protect each other. Queen f7. But how can that move help me? He's trying to mate, okay? From g2. And g4, just check. Okay, g2 I believe is undefended. Let's check. How can I defend this? Or probably I don't need. Just I'm trying to mate. Can I or not? Okay, he's missing anything there, just he didn't need to help me to check and make some advantage. Before check, sack the knight, check with a queen, sack the pawn, check with a pawn, sack the game. I don't like that. If he takes the knight, he will lose mate in 1. Take that, please. He is very clever. What should I play? Let's check. I would like to keep his king on that queen side. Oh, okay, I blundered and he missed that. Okay, very bad. Brain boost, hello bro. Okay, I'm remembering you very well. Just you saw that position. I just put my queen on that, his queen attack, and he missed his queen. Just typical 200 rated player. That was very bad. Okay, I know you back. I remember you're so good. That was very crazy game, I think you saw that. Just I'm in shock how 1700 players missed that. Even I believe we are more than 1700 or even low. I changed my opinion about that. Let's take. If c6 he take, just I will take with a pawn, and d5 will be overprotected at the time, you know. That's why I am waiting for that. I failed to give my net examination. I can't handle it anymore. Need exclamation. What need means? I don't know what need means, sorry. Write in the comments. Probably that's a school exam or not. That should be subject, yes? Let's take with a rook to also defend the bishop. So how I said, I would like to take with a pawn, but anyway. I would like even to bring queen on c7 and triple my pieces. Takes the rook, just I will take the bishop and attack on that queen, and that's very important because if I take the knight, I will take with a queen, and at the time I couldn't take his bishop because mine is hang. But if I took the bishop, just my bishop couldn't be under attack. That was the idea. I'm not sure you saw that position in your mind, but anyway. If I take, I will lose this. I think I can even bring my rook on d6, and somehow I said I will trade my rooks for his two pieces, but at this time I'm gonna take his bishop, which is, I believe, really good. So how he could defend? Okay, he don't need to defend, he's just attacking. I believe that should be okay position. Or if it's not. National examination. Okay, to become a doctor and got leaked last time. And from that I get depressed now. 21 June I'm giving again, but it so stress one. Okay, very bad that you failed that. But did you hard job or not? Okay, sorry, my voice was gone. I am saying that you need to choose a job which is really interesting to you, and if it's not interesting to you, you just won't continue that. That should be very hard for you, so choose a job that will be interesting to you, and also a job that you can make more money than. For example, you can love a job then that isn't much money from there, you know? For example, if you are a really small content creator and you are even playing bad, for example, you are playing uh, Roblox, and if you are not playing bad, that good, just why they need to follow your channel, because they are also playing like that. If there is no famous things that you can do, just you don't need to continue that. Okay, you need to just do jobs that can you get very much money. I think I have heard your name somewhere. My name? Yes, can happen, even from chess.com. Or do you speaking about me or not? Just because I'm playing 8 years chess, I listen that's very much time, because when I am playing some people, just I am clicking on his names, and they wrote I played with them in the past, because the 8 years are so much, and because there are no such very much high rated players like 1700, I will say high rated, okay? That's the same person most of the time. What is he trying to do? That's so unclear, just he was very good at that position, he was up a figure, but he blundered 3 pawns. So what if knight g4 and try to check from f2? Okay, I think I could help you, Brain Boost. Just you need to learn hard, because a doctor's job are is really responsible, and if you be great about that, you can make very much money. He's trying f6 check and take the knight after that. Knight g4 or not, because he will check, king g8 and h3 can work, and my knight will be lost. I don't believe that will be lost, you know? Or that will be. I think about rook c2. Just rook c2. h2 will be under attack, but I believe he will go his queen on a8 or e8. Try to backrack checkmate. Yes, because his bishop would protect some squares that he was trying to jump. That's why I am preventing that squares, and also I'm attacking h2, and from f2 there is another threat. Let's see why the knights are so tricky, because no one could expect that. But this defending the bishop from 2 squares that could jump and defend this g2 pawn. Probably at the time bring his queen near if I move the rook. And also I'm threatening mate, and if it's not mate, just knight f2 check, king g2, and some open check, take his bishop, and so on. There is very much threats that I can do. What mistake you did in your teenage time that you regret it for still? I think I learned so much subject in school, just I was learning history, and yes, that's also important, to learn about your history and some, for example, Russian language and so on. But you need to concentrate your job, you know, like I'm learning programming and I am learning only that, and I'm doing streams. I think you understand. I don't need to do all that things that I think that's funny, or I'm just concentrating for one work or job or one thing to learn that. Let's defend d4 and push this pawn forward. Try to make queen. I have 3 pawns. If he takes the pawn, he can defend just 3 squares. I will go for no disturbing from him. What's your best way to learn chess? I'm new. The best way to learn chess, I think, to learn endgames. Because if you know endgames, you can be up a figure, up a bunch of pawns on that middle game or opening. But when you don't know endgames, you can't win, because Capablanca said, because you are losing games, that doesn't mean you did much mistakes than the opponent. That means you did the last mistake and you are losing for that. Okay? Who is doing the last mistake, he is losing. That's the rule for the chess. And you need to learn endgames and play more rapid games too. Actually, your calculation and memorization will be great after that. Because you need to know about that, okay? Don't fix so much about openings. That won't help you. Just if you try to find best move in that games, you can just play opening very well and not be trapped. Okay, thank you for appreciate Axis Live. Very, very hard, I will say. After 21 June, I'm going to launching my gaming channel. What do you think? What gaming channel? Can we play together on my channel? You are gonna do chess stream, okay? Well, we can, no problem. I will play happily with you. The pawn is still defended. I think that's the right time to bring my king forward and try to defend this pawn, okay? I would like even to bring the pawns, but now this line are defended, these squares. Just I need to bring the king forward. Okay, he sacrifices the knight. That's why rooks are typical endgame piece, because they are hitting so much squares, and that should be winning for me, okay? Or not. Okay, don't lose this. I can't go a1, and f2 is defended. Am I gonna lose or not? Okay, I'm worried about this. I can't defend this pawn, see? Okay, f7 is closed. So much unlucky. Which game I should choose to focus in my gaming channel? What game you want? Just you need to be sure that game is popular. I can't even go f5, and because a5 is defended. I can't go f4 because king is defended. a1 bishop is defended, f2 king is defended. I am so unlucky at this game. How can I make progress to defend this? Because if I even sacrifice my rook for that pawn, that should be at least draw. Sinvor Teșcu. Just ce? Now I can get that f4 and then rook a4. Okay, that's defended. I defended that. Minecraft is good, okay, but see why I'm playing chess and, for example, not Call of Duty. That's why I'm playing chess really good and not about Call of Duty. You know. You need to choose a game that you are playing, I will say, good, because if you are not playing that good, why they need your channel, need to see your channel? That's a question when you need to say to yourself, you need to think about that, why they to see your channel. And I'm thinking that because I'm a little bit high rated, people gonna say my channel because my game will be interesting and they have a chance to play with me. That's why they gonna see me. If you are playing Minecraft, let's be sure that you said Minecraft or not. Okay, you need to be sure that why they gonna see you. And let's bring the rook on white squares, because if I go dark square, probably he can just pin this somehow. I think that shouldn't be bad anyway. Let's bring the rook on back and forward. King b7 and make a new queen. Not a problem, I will sacrifice the pawn. Just, okay, I'm not sacrificing, he's sacrificing. And I can push another pawns. That won't work, okay, that's a losing position for him. But he played very well, I will say. Just endgames, that's why you need to learn endgames. He was up a piece, if you are remembering right. Because he didn't learn that games. And he lost because for that he was so much higher rated. Just 2100 isn't just a joke. Okay, very hard game that were. No, let's play without. Let's play blitz game this time. Three minutes, okay? Hard to say bye to my friend. Okay, you will gonna say bye or I am gonna say bye, but not a problem. Just we will say later in my next streams, okay? So be happy you can just all that job and you can do your exams. Don't think about that so much. I wish you well. Let's go h3 and force him to take. Goodbye brain boost. If you have to go and learn more hard. So that should be okay. We are going to say bye anywhere. Anyway, I will say. Don't think about that. And concentrate from your job, or I will say future job, okay? Have a good day. Let's defend this bishop. Write my name on the wall or any paper to remember me that I'm your first subscriber, okay? If you are getting popular, don't forget me. I'm going to meet you one day in real life. Okay, bro, no problem. I'm remembering your name even when I am not right. Just, I will remember you very well. And okay, we will meet in real life, I believe. Zero problem about that. Queen check or bishop check? Just bishop check, that should be probably. I will gonna be focused on to getting a job. Okay, but try to get a job that you will learn anything from that, okay? If you can do that, just that should be great. F2 is hang. Let's take, and I'm happy to see, even I'm down a pawn, but this 7th rank is mine. So my rook is just forcing his rook to be on b8. And okay, if I check and b7th rank. My name is Yash, what's your name is? My name is Andranik. Just wait. Okay, that's my name. I will be happy if I see you in real life, okay? Just if I be popular and travel all the world, I will go India. I think you are from there, right? Okay. 4-time pressure, my opponent blunder g6 and he would lose the rook. That's why he resigned. Bye Brain Boost. Have a good day. Learn hard and have a good job. I wish that. Okay, a4. He resigned because for a4. If I know that, I would play d4. Three plus 2 I think should be really great, you know? Why not? Hello Pink. Pink bro, hello. Live in Russia, I guess, by your accent. No, I'm living on Armenia, I didn't even be on Russia. We can take, but I don't need it because his bishop will be really active on from that d4. Let's not blunder anything there. Castle and rook b8, okay? Or not? a7 will be hang. Why we aren't going to pawns move on that center? Okay, f4 is a really simple move, I will say a little bit aggressive, but anyway, much players playing that. c5 and c4 or d4. I reach 1000 elo currently. 1200. Bro, you know me, you saw me on my last stream or not? I think I'm remembering you. Okay, 1200 elo is a really good. Just you know, because very much players can't even reach 1000 elo. You should know about that. I think we met or not. Really tricky, I can't take. Should be made from h7, so how can I get out from this? Probably knight f8 and take the knight at the time. Okay, that was hang 2. That wasn't hang, I hanged that automatically. Let's bring back or not. He has check and that should be queen trade. Let's see if he gonna do that or not. Knight f7, king g8, take, take. That should be trade, I believe. He will be up a pawn, but anyway. Okay, he's doing right that he's not trading because his queen is really good attacking on my king side. Probably he needs to go f5, even not take it back if I take that, and sacrifice the bishop on h6, but he's choosing to sacrifice the knight. Not sure that's gonna work or not, but I think I have to take. And still he can't check, which I'm happy to see that. Rook gt3 check. I don't believe if I can defend this position or not. We need to resign as soon as possible. Well, knight f6, d6, d5, okay. Really simple opening, but you are going to in a really good position because the dark square with bishop will do great job, and also bishop d7 can happen. But because that, I like to go a5 somehow to bring this bishop activity. Or we can just take and kick the bishop from c4, right? Because he's losing a tempo. That's the idea. a5, knight d5. Just I don't like a5 from him, just d5 is overprotected from me. Very well protected. So if I were right, probably I didn't do that. He's completely giving that square, so you need to don't create weakness there in any position. Okay, no figure is under attack. I'm trying to go h6 and kick the knight because somehow we can't try to just, I don't know, make some trouble for me. Okay, and our weakness is c6 pawn, so let's defend it with a bishop, h6, and if his knight were in h3, let's do that because h7 would be hang, because his queen even joined there. I can take, no problem, just I didn't like to see his rook, his knight on h7, which is attacked on my rook. Go back, lose a pawn, and try to trade. That's the idea, okay? He's trying check. Can I suck? I can, but I can't even lose like that. King g8, I believe. Okay, that's hanging, rook b8, or even bishop b7, because my bishop is not active there. So I would like to trade knight c4 or d5. Let's think about this. Probably knight c4, rook c8, okay. I don't need to take his bishop yet because my knight is very well placed. Okay, I can move that. That's not a threat and anything. Rook g6. His kingside a little bit weak because his all pieces are doing great job on that queenside, I will say. And rook f8. Okay, really good attack on his king side, but okay, I can't take. I will lose the queen from there. Queen d5, rook c3 even won't work. f3. His rook is under attack, he has to go back. that time, probably h5, h4. If I take and what he did? Just why? That shouldn't be even mouse click because all that squares are defended, you know? Why he did that? No problem, I'm just happy to see that. Let's sacrifice the rook. Okay, we are up a queen, we need to sacrifice all that pieces to win this, okay? Check and his rook will be lost. Just check, king h3, check, king h4, check, king g5, check. That should be mate. Okay, play, don't resign. I did really good pre-moves there, about 10 move. Okay, he resigned, but I am saying good. Okay, that's position that I pre-moved, but somehow he resigned. Okay, that should be mate, but he didn't play it. I saw that position when I was doing that pre-moves, you know? Very bad, very. Just that moment would be in short when he didn't resign. I would gain 100,000 viewers for that, I believe. Knight g5. His knight won't defend this pawn on h7. So I would like to bring the knight and the queen there and try to attack on f7 and h7. And he will castle, okay, but if I were black, actually I can try to long castle because my all pieces besides the rook on a1, which I don't know why is it even there, just for make some trouble for me, okay? Let's sacrifice the bishop. You will see why I sacrificed, because if it takes knight g5 check, back queen h5, and that should be made from there. That's why I was trying to do that and why I sacrificed the bishop. Just queen h5 and bishop back, king h7 made from h7, okay? That should be really hard for him to defend, because if h file is open, that's you need to resign in some positions, okay? Just let's sacrifice the knight. Let's sacrifice the probably you still not understand that move, because my queen couldn't jump on h5 because for that pawn, but I'm removing that defender and his position is just bulldozed, you know, and I'm forcing his rook to take, because if he goes back, just, you know, Kasparov. Kasparov is your favorite, okay? I'm 2200, I just played my best move ever in my last game. Can you check it? Well, I will check it. I even reached 2200 in my rapid game. Say your name in chess.com, username I mean, and I will find you, okay? I will check and see you best move ever. I would be happy to see that. d4 is hang, but let's don't care about that, because I think we will gonna take his queen. Rook g3, okay, he can't even, just if his pawn will be on b5 just before, he will block my rook, but just he can't, you know? Rook g3 and the good thing will be for him to lose the queen, because somehow that's he can't defend, okay? Silent checkmate. Բարև ախպերս։ Ոնց ես։ Let's check from f3 and probably rook f7 if king back. Or let's check with a bishop, king f8, 7, magnesium, calcium. Okay, I'm gonna find you and see your game. You said last game your best game. Okay, I need to check the last game. Well, I found you. After I will finish this game, I will find. Լավ ախպեր ջան, ապրես շատ։ Այն ասանց սթրիմերով էլի։ How I said he lost the queen. Mate, okay? Really hard name. 7. Magnesium. Ապրես ախպերս։ Ուղղակի շատ եմ պարապել ու շատ եմ խոսացել, խոսակցականը սահագին բաց է։ I sacrificed my rook, my knight, my queen in one move. I think in 3 moves, but no difference. Ապրես ախպեր ջան։ Շնորհակալ եմ դրա համար։ Okay. 7 magnesium. And he also has 92.4 accuracy in his game. Ապրես կոմպլիմենտի համար շնորհակալ եմ։ Ինչքան է ռեյտինգդ, լավ ես խաղում։ Well, let's see this game. Let's see what he did. Okay, he played as white. He's going to play against Sicilian, okay? Alapin gambit we have in this position. White that's lagging a little bit. Okay, trade f4, really aggressive, because if queen b6 there should be some, some inaccuracy. That's a little bit overextended, but anyway, I like this position. That's very aggressive, but even I'm opening f4 for no reason. Just I'm not sure that's 100% okay or not. Okay, your bishops are doing great on that king slide. And that's plus 4. That's you missed something from there. What you missed, computer says that best move should be, let's see that, queen e3. That's really hard to find, probably try to sacrifice the bishop on g6 and so on. Okay, knight h4, the rook. Ախպերս, այս տողը խաղը նայեմ ու խաղանք։ Okay, black took the knight, but they should take the rook on f7 for second best move. Yes, I understand. And he could take the knight, with the knight the rook, but that should be even losing for him after some moves. Okay, that's okay. Okay, very much brilliant moves you saw. Ախպերս դե challenge ուղարկի, ինձ չես կոմով կտի ու խաղանք, եղավ։ Եթե խնդիր եղնի մտնելու կամ բանի հետ, ինձ ասա, թեկուզ ես քեզ կգտնեմ, challenge կուղարկեմ։ Well, let's continue to play until next challenge will be. Let's play a little bit fast because we need to spend much time in that middle game and end game like all that games. Magnesium, calcium. You played very well game actually. Just some sacrifices to rook and some other pieces over there. I wish if you have some other good games, we will see it. We will see that happily. Okay.